Welcome, everybody. This is our first podcast. This is OC Life. If you really want to know what OC Life is, you got to come into my life, right? Which is not just about life in general, being a husband, being a father, mentor, motivational speaker. It's also about football as well. So if you check around, you'll see the hardware that God has allowed me to have. This is OC Life Podcast. This is our first edition. Coming to you live right here in Killeen, Texas, we have Jarvis Elder. Jarvis Elder is somebody that is near and dear to my heart. And I'll tell you this because this is our first interview of OC Life. There's so many different things, so many different content. But this is a special edition for OC Life. And what's going to happen here for everybody here is you need to look up and subscribe to Coach Maurice Owens, OC Life Motivation. All you have to do is click the button, thumbs up button, like it, and then subscribe to the YouTube channel. This channel is not just about football and sports. This is about life. But the special edition that we have here is we want to introduce the one and only Jarvis Elder. Just to give you a quick background, right? For Jarvis. Jarvis was born August 14th, right? And he truly and dearly is a great mentor and asset to people. Jarvis is happily married to Eunice Elder as well. They don't have any kids, but soon to be. And he is in his last year with the Central Texas Tigers. Yes, sir. So a little background how Jarvis and I met. We met last year with the Austin Vipers. I was very fortunate to be the offensive coordinator for that organization. And it was a one and done season and we moved on. But aside of that season, I think the best thing that ever happened to us is us meeting each other. So God closed the gap and he built the bridge and now we are here. Jarvis, for all our fans and future fans watching, just give us a little background of yourself in this OC Life podcast.
Yes, sir. Well, like he said, my name is Jarvis. It's just been a blessing to be here tonight, and I just appreciate him having me on his podcast, his first official podcast of the OC Life. My journey, since I was born and raised from Wichita Falls, Texas. I've been in Texas all my life, pretty much, and then my dad and my parents have been in the military, so we used to travel the world, been to Germany, been to Washington, Florida, wherever. I've been all over the place, and I just love football. I dedicate my life to football. Football is just who I am and what I'm born with, and it's just been a pleasure for me to be able to be here. And I was grateful to be able to meet Coach Owens since last year. It was a blessing to meet him from the Vipers, and he was a great offensive coordinator. I learned so much from him. You know what I'm saying? He taught me how to be a leader, to become a leader, and it's been a blessing ever since I met him, since last year.
All right, great. So what we're going to do is we're going to go all the way straight through this thing. We're not going to have any commercials. We're not going to do anything of that nature. We're going to dig into a little bit about your life. I find you as a very interesting player and man, first and foremost. I will tell you that although our season wasn't really a great season record-wise, there was a lot of great things that happened. I think for that particular year, I think that we brought in a new system. Some people bought in, some people didn't buy in. Just to kind of talk about that before, because you touched on where you're from. Let's kind of dive into real quick how we met in last year's season.
Yes, sir.
So I came in as the offensive coordinator.
Yes, sir.
Owner was Hank Morris. Great owner, great person.
Yes, sir.
But tell me, when you found out, that I was coming on board and you didn't know me,
yes,
tell me a little bit about your reservation, how you felt the team was going to receive me coming in.
Oh, yes, sir. I met you, like I said, from you came to one of our games. We played with some team, and that's when I first met you on the field. You came on the sideline, to get to know, I guess, everybody on the team. And when I heard you was coming to the team, I feel like it was a great direction. You know what I'm saying? We needed something to be able to change the flow of our offense, and I felt like you was going to bring a new identity to the team, and I was excited, man. You know what I'm saying, I always adapt to any coach that comes on, so I'm able to, you know what I'm saying, learn and grasp everything that you have to offer, and it's been a blessing for me.
Yeah, it's been a blessing. I tell you, likewise to me as well. But you know, you're getting ready to come into a season. You got a new team. I know when we first met, God knew that we were going to cross paths, but you actually are playing for the head coach, Coach Bill Clark, which I think is an outstanding coach.
Yes, sir.
I think Bill is very, very, very. He cares so much about his players.
Yes, sir.
I think he's a head coach that puts the team before himself.
Yes, sir.
Although you guys were the Rangers, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then a little bit of backstory. Jarvis he's an elite punt returner. He's an elite receiver, but more so, he's a better person.
Yes, sir.
So you're getting ready to go into this season with the Central Texas Tigers.
Yes, sir.
And your offensive coordinator is now who? DC?
DT.
In DT.
Yes, sir.
And how are you and Coach DT's relationship in terms of coach to player?
Well, you know, I learned so much from him over the years. I mean, we went to the same high school at Shoemaker. So,
Okay.
And then, you know, he became the coach of the Rangers. He was a receivers coach at the time. And I know our first year when we played you guys, we went 8-2. We had a good team. And I felt like along the season, when we played the Vipers, I felt like that's when it kind of went downhill because we were so focused on the Vipers and trying to beat the Vipers. And then the following year, we had some new coaches come in, and Coach Clark, he relied on these new coaches. He felt like he could bring in some new coaches and kind of messed up the team, and we kind of went downhill.
Okay.
And then towards the end of the season, that's when DT took over as the head coach because all the coaches left, and Coach Clark wasn't there because his wife was sick at the time too. So he kind of fell into that role of trying to be a head coach, you know, and over the years, he's been learning, you know, he's been grasping the offense, how to run the offense and learn the system on how to talk to the players and, you know, connect with the players at the same time. So
you talk about Coach Clark, and
Yes.
Obviously he seems to be somebody that you revere and very well respect.
yes, sir.
For everybody out there watching, kind of give them a background of your relationship with Coach Bill Clark.
Yes, sir. So I met Coach Clark, you know, my first year when I played for the Rangers back in 2017, 2018. So it was a great experience. You know, when I came to the team, he welcomed me with open arms. His wife welcomed me with open arms, and they're great people, man. I feel like, you know what I'm saying, he's real with you. He doesn't sugarcoat anything. He tells you straight to your face, like, you know what I'm saying, what type of player you are, or who you are, and how you can be better as a person, as a human being. So I respect him 100%.
Very well. So let's really dive in. You got the Leander Wolfpack.
Yes, sir.
And the Leander Wolfpack, to give y'all the background, head coach Mark Rogers was my defensive coordinator. Mark Rogers is a very, very, very fantastic coach, man, husband, father. Love that man. He's the owner of Austin Simply Fit in Leander.
Yes, sir.
They actually play across the street at Bible Stadium.
Okay.
You're getting ready to go into a very, very, very hostile environment in terms of the Wolfpack.
Yes, sir.
The Wolfpack are the defending TUFA champions of 2021. You know, you and I both, we are 0-3 against the Wolfpack.
Yes, sir.
We had great shots every time
Yes, sir.
to beat those guys, but for some odd reason, God is on their side, and
Yes, sir.
now you have a chance to do it, not just without me, but you're not with the Austin Vipers.
Yes, sir.
The Austin Vipers played the Wolfpack, Leander Wolfpack, and they lost 26-12. Vipers played a great game, had a great solid first half. Not sure what happened in the second half, but pretty sure you had a chance to dive into the tape.
Yes, sir.
What really intrigues you about the Wolfpack? What do you see that's a challenge for you?
They're very a poised team. They know how to handle the adversity. That they learned that from winning the championship last year and getting in close games like with us last year. You know, and you can see a lot. They have a togetherness. They play as a team. So and that's one thing that I respect about them. You can hate them all you want. You can say they're not that good of a team, but at the end of the day, they play together in their unit.
Well, I'll tell you what, you got a tough task
Yes,
this
sir.
week. This is your, for you all don't know, the Central Texas Tigers will be clashing with the Leander Wolfpack at 7 p.m. at Shoemaker High School. So if you're not doing anything on Saturday, please please go to the game and support our community here in Central Texas. So let's a little bit dive in. For anybody, this is my notes here on my iPad. But you were born August 14th, 1989.
Yes,
You're from
sir.
Wichita Falls. You are married to Eunice Velasquez Elder.
Yes, sir.
You're a married man,
Yes, sir.
right? You play football.
Yes, sir.
You worked at the oil field there in Odessa. You don't have children. Any aspirations for children?
Yes, sir. I do have aspirations for children, you know.
Well,
Yes, sir.
you're getting up in age.
Yes, sir.
All
Age
right.
is just a number.
Okay.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. So, I've been working on this interview for quite a long time. Just to let you all know, Jarvis is a very, very, very near and dear. He's family to us. And it's not a lot that I can't say about him. But I will say this, you're a coach's dream.
Yes, sir.
I really believe that you made my job easier. And although a lot of people don't value me as a coach and offensive coordinator, I know you do. And I definitely tell you, thank you for sticking up for me in time that you didn't.
Yes, sir.
Although I don't need another man to do that, I think that you came in and you showed who you really were
Yes, sir.
in terms of that. And not a lot of people buy into systems.
Mhm.
I think that for you, as you talked about Coach Clark and DT, I think for you, you need structure, and systematically you do very well.
Yes, sir.
But, there's a couple things about Jarvis I want everybody to know. Jarvis really, really, really loves to read, play basketball, and loves to spend time with his family. However, I've never seen him play basketball, but he does love a team that I despise, which is the Golden State Warriors. And that's only because my Lakers are doing completely terrible. Although he's a Lakers fan, by the way,
Yes,
Kobe
sir.
Bryant fan. So let's get into Kobe Bryant.
Yes,
Kobe
sir.
Bryant had a tragic accident,
Yes, sir.
and he left this world way too soon.
Mhm.
God rest his soul.
Yes, sir. Rest in peace.
But, Jarvis and I, we share YouTube videos every morning, evening. We're always in communication, but he always sends me something. And there's a slogan you always send everybody. From Kobe Bryant, he was in a playoff game.
Mhm.
And the reporter asked him, he says, Kobe, he says, why are you not smiling? And he says, what's there to smile about?
Yes, sir.
He says, job not finished. What does job not finished mean? And why are you so intrigued with Kobe Bryant?
I feel like in life you need that, because sometimes you can get complacent, you can get comfortable in life, So when you get to when you reach a certain point in your life, when you reach a goal, you won't want to get complacent. So that's why I always say job not finished, because at the end of the day, you got to reach another goal to get to where you really need to go and to meet in life. So that's why I use that job not finished.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, Philippians 4:13, that scripture, what does it mean to you?
Philippians 4:13, that's one of my favorite scriptures. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So no matter what anybody say or think of me, I feel like I can do all things through Christ. I think everything in life is possible. You just got to believe in it.
So are you a spiritual man?
Yes, sir. I'm a spiritual man.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
It's very rare, and I will say this, that a lot of young men of yourself do not exercise their faith.
Yes, sir.
I am very faith-based as well, but there's a unique characteristic about you, and I think I can go back to when we were playing the Leander Wolfpack,
Yes, sir.
and we were struggling offensively. We were
Yes,
just
sir.
trying to get points, and you're one of the very few players that have ever said that you love special teams. You said, Coach, you told me, you said, hey, Coach, you don't have to play me at receiver, but just keep me on special teams. And for you all don't know, special teams is not really unless you're not the punt returner or kick returner, it's not really highlighted. Those are the guys that really come in that just make the team just to try to grasp an opportunity. Well, this young man right here, he actually led us to spark. We were down, I think it was 20-6, and Wolfpack was playing a hell of a fight defense. And you came in, and my back was turned.
Yes, sir.
And after they punted the ball, and I'm talking to the offense, and next thing you know, I seen all the guys jump up and ignored what the heck I said, and they were like, "Go, Jarvis, go!" Jarvis scores, makes it 14-20. Wolfpack, we turn right back around. Juan throws a touchdown to Elmore. We're up 21-20. Then next thing you know, we made a bonehead decision, and which is on me. And we went into the shotgun because our starting center got ejected. And we went in the shotgun to try to neutralize the Wolfpack's fearsome foursome. And next thing you know, we fumbled the ball. They hit us in the end zone. We recovered it, and it was 27-21, and we lost a heartbreaking loss. What intrigues you about special teams? Why are you so passionate about that?
I feel like special teams can make or break a game, man. I feel like even though a lot of people don't they don't try as hard on special teams, I feel like special teams can it could change the game in a facet. You know, like if you score, you up, because if your offense is struggling, then that's another way of scoring. Like if your defense is struggling, you try to get points to help them. You know what I'm saying, to keep us in the game.
So you play minor professional football. How much time did you guys spend on special teams? Not trying to impede in your game plan, but personally, how much time do you spend on special teams perfecting your craft?
We do it pretty much every Sunday. We go out there, we catch a couple punt returns, catch a couple kick returns. So we try to work on it at least every practice to get everybody in key into.
The Wolfpack's not going to kick to you, right? If this gets broadcasted before the game and somebody just so happens to subscribe and they see it, they ain't going to kick to you.
I hope so.
Yeah,
I hope so, because it's gonna be an exciting game, man. So I hope so.
All right. Well, we want to ask you your favorite quote is "What have you done for me lately?"
Yes,
I think a lot of people use that term, but why does that mean so much to you?
I feel like it's so much to me because a lot of people nowadays, man, they talk about what they've done in the past, and in life, everybody says, "Well, I did this back in the day. I did this back in the day. I did that. This.
Mm-hmm.
I had 2,000 yards for this team. Blah blah blah." But it's like for me, it's like, okay, you did that, but what have you done for me lately? What can you do for me now? You know what I'm saying? What is your next goal?
Yeah. Because
them goals are faded away. It's what new moments do you have for me now? What can you bring to the table now? You know what I'm saying? So I use that model as a stepping stone is like in life. It's like, what can you do for me now?
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'll tell you, my favorite scripture is, "To whom much is given, much is required." I think that when God blesses you with something, and a lot of times we go into a mode of anxiety, depression, whatever,
Yes,
and we get overbeared with work or taking care of family or our children. And to whom much is given, if God blesses you with so much, too much is required. And He requires a lot out of you. The ones that actually are blessed with, whether it's financial, materialistic, in general, we're all gifted in our own way. So I'm going to ask you a series of questions. Give me the first thing that comes to mind.
Yes,
so I'm going to say a word, and then I want you to give me the first thing that comes to your mind. Okay. All right. So we're going to go with this one: loyalty.
Loyalty, man. Loyalty is it's crazy, man. 21 Savage, he said, "I'd rather have loyalty than love, because love, a person can stab you in the back. And when you have loyalty, if you respect that person the way you respect that person, love gonna come with that. And loyalty is always gonna be the number one key."
All right. Family,
man. I feel like family is everything. You know what I'm saying? No matter if you're down or out or anything, they always gonna have your back. And those are the times you can make memories and you grow and you learn from them. Yeah.
Eunice Velasquez Elder.
That's my wife, man. She's an amazing woman. She's a very beautiful woman, and she strives to make me better each and every day. You know what I'm saying? She gives me everything that I need to be the best man I can be every day.
Football
is life, man. I love football. It's like my passion. It's like I have that Kobe mentality. It's like I train. I want to be the best player out I could be. You know what I'm saying? So I put all the hard work I can to the game and give everything I can to the game.
Entrepreneur.
I think, so that's, for me, that's the biggest step in my life right now is just one thing about, money, they print money every day. So money is out there every day. But one thing that I learned from Eric Thomas, he said time. One thing you can't get back is time. When you have time, the money will come. When you become a better person, when you focus on becoming a better person, the money will come. Yeah. And I feel like whatever you do as an entrepreneur, do it with passion and love. And when you do it with passion and love, the money will come. And just always have the right people around you when you start a business.
Talk a little bit about, real quick before we go into our last part of the interview, talk to me about B&B Suites. Talk to me about, a lot of you all don't know, Jarvis Elder is the CEO of B&B Suites. And talk to me about your vision, and talk to me about B&B Suites. Tell everyone about B&B Suites and how B&B Suites can impact them as well as how you got started. Like what started that?
It started when I was out there in Odessa. You know, I just kept, you know what I'm saying, telling myself I want to do something that's going to hold longevity, financial wealth, or generational wealth for my family, and not only for my family, but for myself too. So I've been working out in Odessa for a while, so I just been like, I'm going to stack some money and then figure out what I want to do for long term. And I felt like Airbnb was a good stepping stone because real estate is the biggest thing going on in the world right now. So you can make financial wealth with that, and that's how I started B&B Suites. And it's been a journey. It's been not been easy. I don't want you to think that just doing Airbnb and, you know what I'm saying, getting a house and just putting furniture in there, taking photos, it's just easy. It's not that easy. You gotta, you know what I'm saying, put the work in each and every day. And at the end of the day, it's just about starting, man. Once you start, you know what I'm saying, you get that somebody to come in to rent the place for the first time, and then you just try to keep growing and get better each and every day. Keep practicing, learning, you know what I'm saying, learning from whatever mistakes you did along the way. And then once you perfect that, then you're going to continue to see the benefits that God has will bless you with.
So you're in Central Texas.
Yes, sir.
Located here in Killeen. What makes you different from any other Airbnb that may be out in Dallas or San Antonio? What are you trying to send a message here in Killeen that B&B Suites is for real? Like what are you trying to do? What are you trying to accomplish by it?
Well, what I'm trying to accomplish about it is I don't want to be in second place. So, you know, on each page on Airbnb or Booking.com or any other website, I want to be the top. We want to be the top. We want to be the top property on that list, you know. And so we try to do that by having a chef, having a jacuzzi, having all the amenities for each person that we know that people will enjoy. Right now, everybody loves, you know, the internet. Everybody loves, you know what I'm saying, spending time with their family. So you got to make sure you have the top amenities for people to enjoy. So we have a chef, we have a rental car, we also, you know what I'm saying, welcome people when they come. So I don't think a lot of people are doing that. A lot of hosts are doing that. So we try to just add more things to B&B Suites that's gonna give us an edge over other people.
So help me understand. You're telling me you can get a rental car. So you're telling me I get off the plane from Austin or Killeen Airport.
Yes, sir.
And I don't have a rental car. You're telling me that you guys actually have a rental car available for me. I think that's amazing. Whoever came up with that idea, that is an amazing idea. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because a lot of people stress. They don't know. Hotels are expensive.
Exactly.
The economy is expensive, you know?
Yes, sir.
For you, I don't know, we're going through a hard time, and we want to pray for Ukraine. We're having a hard time in this world trying to decipher right from wrong. And, you know, gas is through the roof.
Yes, sir.
You know, what would you say to your customers if you had a blurb for a family that is a struggling family, family that just wants to take their kids to enjoy the amenities of your B&B Suites?
Yes.
Do they go to Booking.com? Do they go to Airbnb? What would you say to those families out there that have minimal money? What would you say for them out there that B&B Suites does that every other Airbnb in Texas and in the world don't offer that you do?
One thing we try to have reasonable prices for each and everybody, every couple or families out there. And then one thing that we do, like I said, we try to provide everything possible: games, movie theater, a gym. You know, we try to add wine. You know, you can have a glass of wine. Like recently, we just did a wine tasting. So I don't think a lot of Airbnbs are doing that. Just having like an open house and inviting people out to talk about their businesses. And that's one thing that we try to do. We try to, you know what I'm saying, it's not just about myself and it's not just about B&B Suites, but it's about everybody. I want everybody to win, because if everybody win, that's a big goal for me, because at the end of the day, God didn't put us on this earth just to worry about ourselves and be selfish, like, it's all mine. No, I want everybody to win. I want everybody to succeed in life. So that's one thing that we try to offer.
Well, I will tell you that you talk about everybody winning. What are some of the amenities that you have in B&B Suites? What are some of the amenities that you have? Like, do you guys have a pool, or what do you guys have?
We have a jacuzzi. We have a hot tub in the back. So we have a hot tub. We have a big patio, big backyard. We have a chef. If you want, you know what I'm saying, if you don't want to go out and cook and you want to have like a romantic night, we have a chef that can cook for you. His name is Mr. Owens. So he's a great cook. So we have that. And we have so many things to offer. We're surrounded by so many things. We're down the street from Fort Hood. We're down the street from the hospital. So if we have any nurses out there that want to stay here, we're about 35 minutes from Austin. So we're about so many things. The airport, clean airport. So we got so many things to offer.
Yeah. So if you guys, ladies and gentlemen, he talked about wine tasting. You must be of age, just so that covers you.
Yes,
once this thing goes live, I will tell you that B&B Suites is on the rise. B&B Suites is coming for the #1 spot. We've always said that in order to be the best, you've got to win your state.
Yes,
You've got to win your city.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that right now, innovativeness wins.
Yes, sir.
If you had an opportunity, really quick, can you announce your team, people that work for you in this business, and what they do, what their title is?
Yes, we have Miss Latanya Owens. She's the vice president. She's our financial. She takes care of all the finances and stuff, and she's been doing a wonderful job. She's been very loyal to me, and she's been helping me out ever since. She's been grinding. She got that Kobe mentality too. And then we have also Mr. Owens. I call him OC, Coach Owens himself, and he's been a phenomenal. He's been there every step of the way, supporting me, whatever I need. He's our chef. He's our groundskeeper. If I need him to do anything, he's right there. He's my right hand man. And I have my wife, Eunice Velasquez. She's our she does everything. Like, she can do it all, help us out. She can decorate. Anything we ask her to do, she'll do it. She's like my right hand person. So that's what.
Talk about for you all don't know, Jarvis's wife, Eunice Velasquez Elder. She has a business, unique shapewear.
Mm-hmm.
Let everybody know a little bit about that as well. Kind of give a shout out, because a lot of people, it's not just for females, it's males too, I'm assuming. Kind of give a little bit of a quick overview of what her business entails, where they can find her,
mm-hmm.
how they can get in contact with her.
Yes, Unique Shapewear came about in 2018. She started. She had a vision and a dream that she wanted to do, and she came about it by having shapewears for not only women but also for men. So for women that, you know what I'm saying, are insecure about their beauty, or men are insecure about, you know, their self, you can go get you a shapewear and, you know, and look good, look beautiful on a romantic night or a wedding or party, whatever. And her location's on Fort Hood Street in Killeen, Texas.
Good. And
you can contact her at 254-423-7828 if you want a faja, or you want to go check out the store. She has so many things to offer. She has dresses, jewelry, a lot of fajas, so many fajas, different sizes, all sizes. So if you want to go check her out, you can go check her out on Fort Hood Street.
Good. Just so everyone clarifies, these are volunteer positions for Airbnb. We volunteer our time to help out, just to kind of help you fulfill your vision and your dream. We're embarking on the last few segments of this interview. We're on the last segment here. And here at OC Life, what we want to do is we don't want to be the same. Everybody has podcasts, right? Yes. And we'll talk about the significance of OC Life, how it started, where it's formed, where it's founded. But I've got about 8 or 9 questions that I want to ask you. And I want to ask you, what does it mean to be a high character man? You know, so many people say that about you, and I know you're a humble man. What does it mean when somebody calls you a high character man?
For me, it's a very humbling experience. I mean, it's humbling for me because, you know, I've been, you know, raised from my parents, you know, and for me, one thing that I learned is it's not, as for parents, it's what you instill in them. It's not what you leave behind, it's what you instill in them. So if you instill in them a character, respect, obviously it's gonna wear down on me, wear down on the kids, or what I'm saying, the kids that they have.
Okay. And sorry if I forgot something, but
Yes, sir.
let's talk about your mom and dad.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about how they've impacted you.
Yes, sir.
In your life. Give us a background of your mom, your dad, your family, how they've impacted you right now.
Well, my mom is Stacy Owens, and my dad is Tracy Owens.
We have the same last name, by the way.
Same last name.
It might be related here, okay?
But one thing about my mom is she's a very strong woman. She's a very determined woman. She's always been working a lot of jobs. She worked at McDonald's. She worked all over. And then she also was in the military. She's a hardworking woman. She taught me so much. What I'm saying, when my dad was overseas, for the military, she was the one taking care of us all, and what I'm saying. So I had to grow up pretty fast and help out around the house and do small things. Sometimes we had to go to our grandparents' house, and so I learned so much from her. And then also my dad, man, he's an amazing guy, kind heart. He's a strong-minded man, and he's a preacher for the church. So we've always been in the church my whole life. So as a kid, so that's why I got all the strong characters.
So you say your dad basically has been influential, kind of showed you the way and
showed me the way, the right and the wrong way, about life.
And so your parents, obviously it seems like your parents mean a lot to you.
Yes.
And seems that they've done a heck of a job with you. What's the best thing about spending time with family?
Oh man, for me, it's just enjoying the moments, man, because those moments you can't get back. So for me, it's just being able, whenever we can go wherever, we always try to plan trips, and we just go wherever, whether it's Six Flags or whatever. It's about just all of us meeting up, and everybody grows so fast, so we all grow, and it's like just coming together and just having some laughs and love and spreading the love and peace and just joy.
Well, okay, we're gonna get into. I think this is one of the most interesting things. Like, we all admire Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and we admire Tom Brady and all these people. And I know, being faith-based, a lot of times, we know you're a God-fearing man first and foremost, but we're all human. We all have humanly people that we actually look up to. There's nobody higher than the good Lord, but yes, what is it about Kobe Bryant that made you kind of admire him and follow him?
Man, he's the Black Mamba. He has that drive, that passion, that work ethic. At the end of the day, he said at the end of the day, nobody was in the gym with him when he was putting up those shots, and what I'm saying, he dedicated his life to basketball. When when he first was a rookie, he was airballing, everybody booed him, so he had to grow to be the person he is today, the man he was today. And that's why when he passed away, everybody is now showing appreciation to what he's been doing his whole life.
Well, why, we had a conversation personally. Why is it that you think that, and I've seen it with Kobe Bryant, and I love Kobe Bryant, I love his drive. I think he's the closest thing that we'll ever see to Michael Jordan. But why is it that the world could not tell him these things, why he was alive? Why do people wait till somebody kind of passes on to show that, that value of appreciation?
I feel like that's just how the world is nowadays. Everybody, they show love from afar. You know what I'm saying? And they only give you flowers when you die. You know what I'm saying? They don't give you flowers when you're here, because at the end of the day, some people are jealous, some people have hatred or whatever. They have their opinions about the person.
Yeah.
When they're here, but when they're gone, I love that man. I loved him. He was the best thing on air.
That's one thing I have a problem with. I think, and you and me both, we've talked about this numerous times through personal conversations. Is a lot of times people don't value you until you're gone. But you don't know. You can't hear it. You don't know, because you're dead and gone. And so if it's one word that you can describe Kobe Bryant, what would you say? One word only.
One word I would describe Kobe, I would say For me, it's greatness, man. Greatness.
Well, I think there's no mistake that you wear number 8.
Yes, sir.
There's no mistake.
Yes, sir.
You got number 8 this year?
No, sir. I got number 5 this year.
Number 5? Okay, what's significant to 5, if any?
Number 5, just something different, man. For me, for me, a number is just a number for me. I mean, it doesn't matter what number I have, because at the end of the day, you make the number.
Well, this is your last ride.
This is my last ride. You're right.
This is your last ride. How long have you been playing non-professional football?
For me, it's been almost 10 years? Yeah, 10.
Seen a lot of teams, seen a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
What is it about non-professional football that you would change? What is one thing you would change about it?
One thing that I would change about it is just, semi-pro it's hard, man. But I feel like, you know what I'm saying, as men, like for me as a player, I feel like for some of us, it's just, you know what I'm saying, get away from home or get off the street. You know, the bad things that you did once out of high school, or give people opportunity, you know, to make a name for themselves, you know, that didn't have that chance in high school, you know, been overlooked or whatever. So I feel like one thing that can change is maybe, you know what I'm saying, NFLs or colleges come out and, you know, actually see these guys, man, give them an opportunity to prove themselves.
You know, I will tell you, I think that non-professional football is being overlooked by not just NFL, but colleges in general. I think that when teams are formed, and we'll talk about this next segment.
Yes.
When teams are formed, teams should be formed because you're using the word professional.
Mm-hmm.
I think you should really start to scan and dig into these guys.
Yes.
Past to make sure you're bringing in the right high character guy.
That's true.
I think from what I've experienced is in non-professional football, we just accept anybody. You're a big body, but we're not looking at their attitude. And I think the Wolfpack do a great job of that.
Yes.
Weeding out the good from the bad. And I hate to say it, but you know, right now those guys are doing it right. And I think a lot of teams should follow what they're doing. There's a lot of talent here in Central Texas.
There is.
Stay tuned on that. But
yes, sir.
we're you talk so much about family. You talked about your wife. You've been married 4 years now, right?
Yes, sir.
What are some of the few attributes that you want us, you know, the world to know, the public to know about your wife, and what makes your love bond stay connected? Because, you know, you got a lot of young men that don't know about directions in life, and, you know, being, you know, 33 years old, it's fairly young.
Mm-hmm.
But to be married, I think a lot of, you know, in this generation we live in, everybody pretty much is, I'd rather be single. I think, what is it about the bond that you have with your wife, and what is a few attributes about her that you want the world to know?
One thing I can say is marriage it's not easy, man. I feel like, you know what I'm saying, for me, it's always, don't try to chase a woman. You know what I'm saying? Let God bring the right woman to your life. So I feel like that's one thing for me. And I feel like with marriage, you have to be able to adapt, overcome. You can't be complacent. You can't be comfortable. And because the world prints this image that says, you know what I'm saying, it's okay to move on so easily if the person don't do something right or doesn't do the things that you want. It's okay to get a divorce. It's okay to move on and, you know what I'm saying, go have kids with somebody else and this and that. And I feel like I want to change that and, you know, change generational curses and, you know, be different. Because, you know, as my real dad, he wasn't in my life my whole life. So it's like I learned so much from that. It's like, you know, I want to be different. I want to, you know, I don't want to have a bunch of kids and have a different bunch of baby mamas and all that stuff. I want to be a different. I want to be a different mode, like how it is back in the old days. You know, back in the old days, y'all didn't have cell phones. People, they didn't have cell phones and all that stuff. They wrote notes, and you know what I'm saying. You didn't have to worry about the social media, watching your relationship. Oh man, let me see what they doing, how they're doing, or oh, let me see if they break up. Let me see if they having issues. And all that.
You mentioned social media. That was my next question. What? Are you a big social media guy?
Nah, man. I feel like the social media it's a curse, man. It's like control. I feel like it controls you.
What's a good thing about social media, and then what's the pros and cons about social media?
Well, social media you can use. I feel like to if you have a business, I would use that to get your business out there. But the cons of social media, man, it's every 5 minutes, everybody's picking their phone up. Let me see what they're talking about on Facebook. Let me see how this guy's living. Let me see how Coach Owens is living. Let me see how this person's living.
You think social media devalues who you truly are, and it makes you create a false reality of who you are and what you aspire to be?
I really believe that, because some people out there are living false lives. They show you the good things, but not a lot of people show you the bad things or the struggles that it took to get to where they are now.
You know, that's one of the things I have a problem with. I really can't connect with people that can't tell me their shortcomings.
Yeah.
You know, together in my life, I have 9 children separately.
Yes, sir.
Was married a few times, and then once Tanya and I got married, we have 2 children. So we're all in a blended family. Although we don't have children together, we have 11 kids total. And when you said one key thing is that you don't want to have a different bunch of babies, moms, have a different bunch of kids. And I think in this day and age, a lot of you young men and women need to hear that, because what happens is you are creating, first of all, a financial travesty, number one. Number two, you're creating an imbalance in family, and you're not giving your children their just due, because there's no way that I can be attentive to all 11 of my children. And that's something that, you know, I love all my children, but I wish that I would have done a better job. And I think a lot of men don't understand that. And I feel for you, because you've stressed that, I think that we should really highlight that and know that you're a Renaissance man. You know, it's not, like I said before, it's not many guys, young men like you, that think that way. And I will say this, you know, you cannot allow public perception on social media overtake who you truly are as a man or as a woman. And we got a few more questions for you, because we know we have to let you go. OC Life is a podcast that will be streamed live, hopefully every Wednesday, and we'll put content out. You know, Jarvis, when he's not, you know, busy, he'll be a part of this as well. We're going to try to get a few more people on and try to collaborate. We're not doing this for money. We're just doing this to hopefully we can touch somebody in this world. Here's a question that I really wanted to, I kind of fight it if I was going to ask you, but I'm going to ask you this. You know, why is it important for today's men and women to have God in their lives? You know, what's, because, you know, when you go on Instagram, you see the women with the bathing suits, and you see the men with the shirts off, and then you go on TikTok, which I'm not a big fan of TikTok, by the way, and the social media sites. You're looking, to me, social media is, it's, I'm not going to say it's against, you know, beyond belief. I'm going to say that if you do too much anything, it's not good. But you don't see a lot of people now in church, in a sense. You know, everybody based off COVID is doing it at home and all that. But why is it important for men and women today to have God as their Lord and Savior, and to really believe?
Well, the first and most important thing is, you know, we're not all perfect in this world. We're not all perfect, but at the end of the day, I feel like to have God in your life, it's very important, because, you know, when days are challenging, every day can be a challenge for you. And then to have God in your life when, you know what I'm saying, when you're down and out, or you're struggling, or, you know what I'm saying, you feel like the devil keeps attacking you. It's always good to, you know, be able to pray every day, read your Bible as much as you can. Even if you don't go to church all the time, you know, just as long as you give God his time, God gonna take care of you. I feel like God's gonna give you everything you need.
So we got about 5 minutes left in our first initial interview with OC Life. You know, this has been a vision of mine for a long time, trying to find something to kind of manage my time. You know, football is something not very strenuous, but, you know, you got a very big game this weekend, and there's a lot of people don't understand what athletes go through. A minor professional athlete, remember, ladies and gentlemen, they do not get paid. They are paying their way through. Just like a walk-on in college, they are paying their way. And I think all minor professional players should get paid. I think owners monopolize out these guys and they get their own self-gratification. And I feel that if you're going to build a team, I feel that you should build it where players should be able to get some financial gain behind it. Just like the name, image, and likeness, which definitely we'll talk about that on another segment.
Yes, sir.
But not hiding the fact, it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday evening, and you got about Thursday, Friday. You've got about 48 hours before kickoff. What emotions are you feeling? Are you feeling, and this is your last, you'll never ever have a first game ever in your life after this. What are you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling motivated, man. I'm feeling driven, since everything's been going on, people switching teams and stuff. So I'm kind of like motivated to prove for, this first year team to prove something to the whole league. Right now I feel like we're scary. We're a scary team because not a lot of people know what we really truly have on this team. And some guys, they came to our team. Some guys went to the Vipers and all that stuff. So it's like a motivator. I'm kind of motivated by it. So I'm driven.
So if you had to really, really look back at your football career, would you say that every game you left it all out on the field?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And just so everybody knows, we're going to get everything content up. We're going to play our outro music, which is Rags to Riches. But let me say this. OC Life was formed when I became an offensive coordinator, and I've coached from Little League, high school, haven't coached college yet, although I want to, and God led me to minor professional football. My nephew, Darrell Owens, he was the quarterback for the Texas Punishers. However, when God calls you to do something, you do it. And so coaching minor professional football is not just a job. It's you have to pay for it. It's your life. You're using your own funds, and it's hard. It's hard, especially in the society that we live in. And what I will say is that OC Life is not just a podcast. I know we can get overshadowed because he's not Kobe Bryant, I'm not Tom Brady. But I want every listener out there to take away what we do. We are going to be our natural self, our authentic self. We're going to do our best not to curse on this podcast. We're going to do our best. We want it to be clean. We want to send a message to all kids in the world out there that you can be anything that you want to be. But at the end of the day, you have to understand that you got to be called to do something. And we have so many other subjects that we'll talk about. But, Jarvis, it's been a pleasure. It's been an honor to do this first initial podcast with you. And I know how I would feel 48 hours before my last game. Unfortunately, as coaches, we don't have to go through the rigorous. Our scrutiny comes if we win or we lose a game.
Yes, sir.
Most of the losses are we're not producing offensively or defensively. And by the way, I've been the most scrutinized coach in Texas in this league.
You know, I had a question about that.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the way last season ended and not coaching this year? How do you feel?
You know what? I feel I rushed into coaching last year. You know, I just finished getting my degree. I just recently retired from the Army. My wife said, yes, hon, you can go back into coaching. And I jumped on the first opportunity. And when you do that and God did not lead you to that decision, you get the results of what a man's decision is, which man did that. That means I did that.
Yes, sir.
And so God didn't bless that. However, there was a diamond in the rough. It was an opportunity to meet you. But as far as the perception of me, you know, I embrace the hate.
Yeah.
Because I know who I am. I know who God is for me to be. I think that when you're talked about so much, you're thought about.
Yes,
and I think that people really fear what they don't understand. And I think in minor professional football, I feel like guys it needs to be a system in place. It needs to be offensively, defensively. I think coaches need to have playbooks, and I think that owners need to own, and I think players need to play. And I think when you are coaching, these men feel entitled. They think they're 10 stars and there's only 5.
Yes, sir.
So I think that they're not honest with themselves on what direction they are. And you know what? I'll tell the camera this. Guys don't want to be coached hard nowadays. They want to be baby. And when I go back into coaching, I'm not a baby in anybody.
Yes, sir.
You know, you're going to learn my offensive system. It's going to be a sentence and a half long because guess what? When you go to college, when you go to NFL, you don't have an option.
Yeah.
And I think that when you have a team that doesn't buy in, a coach can prepare all day long.
Yeah.
Offense, defense, special teams. You have a great game plan. But if you got 8 out of the 11 guys buying in, if you're recycling quarterbacks, you're not going to win.
Yes.
But what do people do? They're going to blame me and say, hey, you know, Coach Owens, you're the reason why the Vipers weren't successful. Let me tell you the reason why the Vipers weren't successful. The Vipers weren't successful because the Vipers didn't buy in. Yeah. That's just the bottom line to it. Yeah. And you can't go from getting one of these, having the number 1 offense in Texas with the Texas Extreme, averaging 43.9 points a game, having 2,800 yards rushing, 1,900 yards passing, which we had our quarterback, Zach Bozier. Zach Bozier and I was 23-0 quarterback to coach, OC. Me and him may not always seen eye to eye, but we never lost a game together.
And he bought in.
And so I'm saying that I feel that players need to buy in, but I will tell you that my decision is 100% on me. And I didn't make the decision based off of what God said. I made the decision based off what I said. Yeah. So that leads me to say this. When God says no and you say yes, you don't win. But if God says yes, He's going to give you the discernment and the comfort to go out there and pursue your vision and dream. So, you know, I really think that that's the reason why we were not successful. And again, I feel that players should buy in the systems.
Yes, sir.
And players, no matter what level you're in, should buy in.
Yes.
And if you don't buy in, then you're not going to be as successful as you should be. So guess what you do now? We wish we could have beat the Wolfpack. We should have beat the Wolfpack. Well, you had the system to do it.
Yes, sir.
But when you have people that are against you, so I had a lot of people against me. I was fighting a war by myself and had no idea.
Yes.
So when you go through that, what you have to do is you have to just sit back, relax, and say, okay, let the organization do what it does. I decided to walk away from the Austin Vipers, and I decided to move on to the bigger and better things. You know, I sent you that about Nick Saban before we go. And Nick Saban is the greatest coach to ever coach the game of football in college.
Mm-hmm.
And he lost a championship game. And I'm going to tell you, he lost for us to see this.
Yes, sir.
He said Bryce Young and was it Will Anderson?
Yes, sir.
Those guys took the game hard and they were crying. You had a Heisman Trophy winner. You had a Nagurski winner and Will Anderson.
He should have been in the Heisman.
And he should have been in the Heisman, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's no way Hutchinson should have been a Heisman. Should have been. But they didn't want to see two Alabama people do it. Plus,
Exactly.
Devontae Smith won it last year.
Mm-hmm.
Hate on Bama, right? Even though I'm a Florida State fan. But when you look at Nick Saban is great.
Yes, sir.
So they're going to scrutinize everything he does.
Mm-hmm.
So they get on camera. Players are getting ready to get up there teary-eyed. And Nick Saban stops him and says, hey, wait a minute. Can I say something?
Yes, sir.
He says, we will not be defined by one game.
Mm-hmm.
I won't be defined by one season.
Yes.
That was one season with that organization.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad that you asked that because, you know, people fight what they don't understand.
Exactly.
And anywhere that I go, your playbook's going to be that thick. And you're going to have to learn the system because I want to see you be better and productive.
Mm-hmm.
So although you asked me that, we're going to have to, you know, get out of here. We're going to play our nice little outro music here. And for everybody that is going to watch this video, this podcast, I want you to take something away from it. I want you to take away that we will tell the God's honest truth, that we'll speak about things that people don't want to talk about. Our goal is to bring people on that are interesting, people that truly and dearly would represent the OC Life podcast. And also, too, this is truly and dearly a blessing.
Yes, sir.
And it's a blessing to be here with you. I will tell you that you've got a tough task coming up this week. Stay tuned. Jarvis Elder, wide receiver, slot receiver, punt returner, kick returner, Mr. All-Purpose, Mr. Renaissance Man. He will be kicking off at 7 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
The Central Texas Tigers will clash with the Leander Wolfpack. And we are going to be excited to see. I know I'll be there. Hopefully I don't have to pay for my ticket and my family. Hint, hint, by the way. But I will tell you, this has been a great, great, great podcast. We love digging into your life and knowing what's important to you. Stay tuned next Wednesday. Same bat time, same bat channel. Jarvis Elder here was our first guest. He'll also be co-hosting next. Stay tuned. OC Life is not just about life. It's a podcast that makes life a message. God bless.
I appreciate you having me, sir.
All right, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Congrats.